Welcome to another edition of Greyhound Gold, and Shorty is not with us today as we are trying to keep our distance with everything that's going on at the moment with the COVID-19 virus, but not to worry, he has sent his tips through for you. But let's kick off the show with the run of the week as we always do, and let's go back to the weekend where we saw Bones McCoy take out the Group 2 Mandurah Birthday Cup. Now, Destruction flies out of the boxes at box rise to initially lead from box 6, but here comes Bones from the cherry to overtake him and lead throughout. Sunset Piper on his tail, but he charges home here to come up victorious in 22 and 42. So a new PB for Bones McCoy here, coming up successful in the Group 2 Mandurah Birthday Cup. Let's get straight into our tips for the Friday meeting at Mandurah and the meeting at Cannington on Saturday. Kicking off with Mandurah, we'll start with Shorty's tips. He's gone with race 2, number 2, West on Fever. Now, we've actually agreed with the best bet this Friday, so I'm also with West on Fever for the reasons likely to be similar to Shorty, dropping down back to 4-5 company and has an inside draw here, so I think is drawn to perfection with the speed, should be able to find the lead out of box 2. So Shorty's best bet, race 2, number 2, West on Fever. His value tip comes into race 8, number 6, Dodgem Marley. My tips at Mandurah, as I mentioned, race 2, number 2, West on Fever. My value, I've actually gone for our Group 2 Birthday Cup winner this year, Bones McCoy. Race 7, number 7, so he's drawn out wide, the opposite end of what he drew in the Cup, but he clocked a new PB. I think he'll be good for it and should cross the dog on his inside, Buster the Brute, who was a bit slower at box rise last start. So Bones McCoy is my value tip. Now we swing our attention to the meeting at Cannington. Shorty's tips goes race 8, number 2, Sunset Piper for David Hobby as his best bet. And his value tip, race 7, number 6, Cascade Manelli. My best, it comes into race 1, number 1, Sapphire Rose. I cannot go past her when she's drawn the cherry over the 380. Her last 2 wins over the 380 here at Cannington were both out of the polls, so I feel like I just have to tip her again. Race 1, number 1, Sapphire Rose. And for a bit of value, I'm actually tipping in the Summer Maiden Final, and I've gone with race 4, number 2, Hurricane Taylor. Definitely an each way basis. Heat winner West on Finn looks a very strong chance here, but Hurricane Taylor draws box 2, came second behind heat winner out of box 5, so I think we'll definitely make better use of this inside draw. Race 4, number 2, Hurricane Taylor is my value tip. And there you go. We have another edition of Greyhound Gold done and dusted. Shorty's tips as well as mine. And we hope to catch you next week on another big edition of Greyhound Gold.